Something about the lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints in the sands of time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they most assuredly left their footprints.
Oh,
I mean, this
yeah.
school did so much for so many. It would
Yes.
really take a lifetime to, or more than one lifetime,
see,
really to make those determinations.
Because it wasn't Harvard or Yale, you know, not many people know of the institution.
Yeah, it's tucked away here in these hills.
Yeah, but what it did for people, the people that it sent out, the people who graduated, they, started
Education
way back there.
has been used as a tool for every civilization on the planet of the earth, or shall I say, the withholding or lack of education from a particular population citizenship that has been marginalized for whatever reason. So I would say that the teachers that graduated from Storer College became the appendages for Storer College, and Storer College is the physical manifestation for social change in America.
Incidents that, in fact, blacks were killed in the early 1900s, and there were a bunch who said enough is enough. Du Bois rallied a group of people that went to Niagara, Canada, and had a meeting, and they were trying to work out plans to alleviate the killing, the Jim Crowism, and everything else.
Reconstruction had failed. You had a Supreme Court decision, Plessy versus Ferguson, which basically made segregation the law of the land. The most powerful black man in America, Booker T. Washington, had developed accommodationist policies where he was willing to sacrifice social integration. He was willing to accept social segregation and pursue industrial training for African Americans. Du Bois and other black leaders refused to accept that. They wanted full and equal civil rights. So in 1903, Du Bois wrote a book called Souls of Black Folk, and in that book he directly challenged Washington and Washington's accommodationist policies, and said that this would continue to perpetuate discrimination and segregation if we followed those policies. And from that point on, that was the impetus that created the Niagara movement.
I want to try to pick out J.R. Clifford because he is in here. That's him.
There's W.E.B.
That's Du Bois. The fact that the Niagara movement met here the first time in this country, the fact that it met here was almost ordained. And I mean that in 1898, a man who graduated from Storer College, a man named J.R. Clifford, who became a lawyer, won the first civil rights suit in this state and probably in these United States.
The connection to J.R. Clifford was, I'm sure, pivotal. And it was such a natural. What better venue than Harper's Ferry with its John Brown history?
The John Brown story was very strong, and so you had that symbolism. Also, Storer College, as one of the first schools to open up after the Civil War to educate former slaves, was very symbolic as well. And so J.R. Clifford, a graduate of Storer College, was on the planning committee And so he really steered Du Bois and the other members into coming here to the campus. In August of 1906, they held their second meeting of the organization, but the first on American soil.
It was quite an array of intellectuals, people who were very, very concerned about the direction, the future of the black race, even though, they'd been freed in 1863. There was still a lot of pockets, a lot of discrimination, Jim Crowism, and everything else.
Du Bois was special and a great asset, and especially a great asset to people of color, because the demands of people of color were really so basic. Fair play, no separate drinking fountains, the right to ride wherever one chose, to go to work and join a labor union. And those demands, which Du Bois articulated marvelously and fought for, precluded many, many African American leaders from looking beyond the disappearance of the structure, the superstructure of segregation. And Du Bois was always ahead of the curve there. Saying, all right, so the fountains are available, so people ride wherever, so we all go to school together. What's that going to mean in terms of the way in which we live together if there are still gross inequalities and no possibility of remedying them or focusing on how to do so?
The men and women of Niagara, Du Bois called them the talented tenth. These were professional people. These were ministers. These were doctors. These were lawyers. These were newspaper publishers. Leaders of their community were part of this organization. The intellectual elite is the way he referred to them.